Good morning, class. Welcome to week 8 of our English 112. So this is the final week that we're doing module 3, the rhetorical analysis essay. And you will need to write your essay this week. So I want to walk you through week 8. If you look at your memo that I posted on Monday morning, what I say in that memo is that this week we're going to focus on a couple of things to get you to writing your essay. First of all, we're going to focus on making sure that you have a good thesis statement and that you understand the format of the essay. Your virtual attendance assignment requires you to really pick apart a sample student essay. This assignment is going to give you some hands-on experience at analyzing an essay written by a student just like you for this very assignment. So if we look at that assignment, I'm going to click into week 8 for us. All right, so let me go ahead and open up week 8 for us. We're going to come on down. And here's week 8. Here's your cover folder. At this cover folder, I explain everything we're going to do this week. I explain all the documents that are underneath the folder, and I go into detail about your virtual assignment. So you're going to read the sample student essay that's included in week 8. Its name is Efforts to Limit Medical Intervention During the Birthing Process. So this is a rhetorical analysis essay written by a student just like you in an English 112 class who had this very assignment. So you need to answer 8 questions about the essay. And then finally, you're going to write your thesis statement for your rhetorical analysis essay using the thesis statement guide that I included it at week 7, so you could complete that worksheet that was due yesterday. And then I'm going to have you rewrite your thesis statement for Tuesday's virtual assignment. Now, once you answer the 8 questions and put your thesis statement in this discussion board post, I need you to go and respond substantively to a classmate's post. So you could comment about some of their answers about the student essay. You could correct, or you could say, hey, did you think about this as being the thesis statement of the essay? I don't think you got it quite right, or yes, I agree. Or you could comment on their own thesis statement and give them some help and guidance. Then on Thursday, your outline is due. Now, your outline, and I explain here, and you can see it's highlighted in green, you need to follow the outline template exactly. So this outline template I have included in week 8 lays out what needs to be in each section of the paper. This outline template is going to pull information that you gathered when you completed the rhetorical analysis worksheet that you turned in Sunday. So let me go ahead and now click into week 8. We'll talk about a couple of other things. So here's your sample essay for your virtual attendance assignment. Here again is your rhetorical analysis thesis statement guide. It's also posted at week 7, so you need to go and write or rewrite your thesis statement for this virtual attendance assignment. And here is your outline template. So I'm going to open that up really quick. All right. This outline template tells you what goes in each section of your paper. So in section 1, the introduction, you're going to give background information about the issue you've chosen and why it's important. You're going to fully introduce the main article by providing the author's names, the title, the publication, the intended audience, and the overall argument. And then you're going to include your thesis statement. So here's some more specifics about your thesis statement. Now, the body of the essay has essentially 4 sections. The first section is a very brief summary of your article, and this shouldn't be more than about 5 to 7 sentences. Then your next section needs to address ethos. You must address extrinsic ethos, in other words, the author's credentials, and you will also address intrinsic ethos, in other words, what other factors contributed to that author's credibility. So your ethos paragraph, again, is going to include these very specific things. That there must be a topic sentence. You must address the author's credentials. What effect does all of this have on the audience? How does that effect persuade the audience to achieve the goal of that text, in other words, the thesis statement? And then you're going to have a concluding transition statement to take you to your logos paragraph. Now, you're required to use an additional source in your logos paragraph. This is going to be your writing about guideline. So you'll read through this, and your logos paragraph should include, again, a topic sentence. In other words, how does overall the author use logos? How effective is it? Then you're going to discuss the writing conventions that you learned from reading your writing about guidelines. Then you're going to discuss the effect this has on the audience, and then you're going to conclude overall how effective was the author's use of logos. And then finally, pathos. So pathos is an interesting one because most of your articles will probably not have much pathos. And that is something that you can't ignore, you need to address. And in fact, most of these articles should not have much pathos. That will probably weaken their argument because these are arguments that are based on fact, statistics, and the use of emotion is seen as sort of a cheap shot, if you will. And then finally, you are going to conclude, discuss overall what you've learned from your article about your discipline. Talk about how effective the author was using the appeals and how does that relate to that discipline. And then go back and make a final judgment about whether the article is persuasive or not by the use of the rhetorical appeals. All right, so let me go ahead and X out of this and X out of this. And if you continue under week 8, I also include, I've given you exactly how to cite your writing about guideline using MLA format. Just remember to use hanging indent. I can't use hanging indent in Blackboard. Here's a self-review worksheet. And then underneath this bar, there are several tools for you to help you most effectively use in-text citations because you need to use quotes, and also signal phrases, as well as setting up your paper in MLA format. Now, your Thursday announcement will have a mini lesson on MLA format. All right, be sure to email me with any questions.